Two people can start with the same opportunities, the same resources, even the same talents. Yet one becomes a millionaire while the other stays stuck. The secret is not luck, it's how they think. Ladies and gentlemen, today, I want to talk to you about something more powerful than money itself, the mindset behind wealth. Becoming a millionaire isn't just about numbers in a bank account. It's about how you think, how you act, and how you live. The truth is, millionaires think differently, and because they think differently, they live differently. If you want to change your life, you must first change your mind. Clarity of vision. Millionaires don't wake up one morning and just stumble into wealth. It starts with a crystal clear vision. They know exactly what they want, down to the smallest detail. They don't say, "I want to be rich someday." They say, "By the age of 35, I want to build a business that generates $1 million a year, helps people solve X problem, and gives me the freedom to live on my own terms." That's clarity. When you have a clear vision, every decision becomes easier. Think of it like a GPS. If you get in your car without typing in the destination, you'll just drive in circles. But once you know where you're headed, the GPS guides you step by step. The same is true for life. Without vision, you drift. With vision, you progress. Most people live by default. They wake up, go to work, pay bills, and repeat the cycle without asking, "Where am I actually going?" Millionaires break that cycle because they live by design. They take time to sit with themselves, write their goals down, and paint a mental picture of the life they want. Here's the secret. Your mind believes what you consistently show it. If every morning you visualize yourself healthy, wealthy, and free, your brain begins to work towards that reality. You'll start noticing opportunities you ignored before. You'll attract people and ideas that align with your vision. Clarity doesn't just give you direction, it activates your inner drive. So, if you want to think like a millionaire, start by getting crystal clear about your goals. Ask yourself, what do I really want in life? What kind of lifestyle do I see myself living? What legacy do I want to leave? Write it down. Review it daily. Feel it as if it's already yours. Because clarity of vision is the first step to turning the invisible into the visible. Value over money. One of the biggest differences between the average person and a millionaire is how they see money. Most people chase money directly. They work longer hours, take on extra shifts, and constantly think, "How can I make more?" But millionaires think differently. Instead of asking, "How do I get more money?" they ask, "How do I create more value?" Because the truth is simple. Money is nothing more than a reward for solving problems. Think about it. Every successful business, every great invention, every powerful brand exists because someone decided to solve a problem and add value. The smartphone solved the problem of communication and convenience, and now it's a global necessity. Ride-sharing apps solved the problem of transportation, and today they dominate the market. In both cases, money didn't come first, value did. Millionaires understand this law. They focus on contribution, on serving others, and on finding ways to make life easier, better, or more meaningful. That's why, while most people are running after quick paychecks, millionaires are asking deeper questions. What do people need? What frustrations can I eliminate? How can I make this faster, cheaper, simpler, or more enjoyable? The more people they help, the more wealth they naturally attract. This mindset also shifts the way they see work. Instead of dreading Monday mornings, millionaires see every day as an opportunity to create. They don't just do a job, they build solutions. They don't measure success by hours worked, they measure it by impact made. And that's why they can create wealth that multiplies, rather than income that barely sustains. Here's the secret. When you chase money, it runs away. When you chase value, money chases you. If you want to build wealth, stop asking, "How can I earn more?" and start asking, "How can I give more? How can I serve better? How can I add so much value that people cannot ignore me?" The millionaire mindset teaches us that wealth is not taken, it's earned by exchange. The exchange is simple, value for money. If you want more wealth, increase the value you provide. That might mean developing a skill, starting a business, or offering something unique to the world. When you become a person of value, money stops being a struggle. It becomes a natural outcome. Long-term thinking. One of the greatest secrets of the millionaire mindset is their ability to think long-term. The average person looks for immediate results. They want quick money, instant success, and overnight recognition. That's why they fall for get-rich-quick schemes and give up when success doesn't happen fast enough. Millionaires, on the other hand, see life as a long game. They understand that wealth, influence, and freedom are not built in weeks or months. They are built over years of consistent, smart effort. Think about planting a tree. When you put the seed in the ground, nothing happens immediately. You water it, care for it, and protect it from storms, even though for a long time, it seems like there's no reward. But eventually, the roots grow deep, and one day, that tree becomes strong enough to bear fruit for decades. That's exactly how millionaires view their investments, businesses, and personal growth. They are willing to wait, nurture, and persist until the results come. Long-term thinking changes the way you handle challenges. Instead of panicking when things don't work in the short run, millionaires see setbacks as temporary. They know that failure today can lead to success tomorrow, as long as they stay the course. Where most people quit after the first difficulty, millionaires remind themselves, this is just part of the process. They see every decision through the lens of the future, not just the present. This mindset also shapes the way they spend and invest. While others spend money to look rich now, millionaires invest money to become rich later. They sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gains. They don't need instant gratification because they understand that real wealth is built by patience and discipline. That's why they put money into assets, education, and opportunities that may not pay off immediately, but will multiply in the future. The truth is, long-term thinkers win because time is on their side. Every day, every small choice, every bit of effort compounds like interest in a bank account. Millionaires trust the power of compound growth, whether it's in money, knowledge, or relationships. They know that what you build slowly lasts far longer than what you grab quickly. So if you want to adopt the millionaire mindset, start thinking beyond today. Don't just ask, what will this give me now? Ask, where will this take me in 5 years? In 10 years? In 20 years? Because when you shift from short-term desires to long-term vision, you stop chasing temporary wins and start building permanent success. Embracing risk and failure. If there's one thing that separates millionaires from the majority, it's their relationship with risk and failure. Most people avoid risk at all costs. They choose the safe job, the predictable routine, and the familiar path, even if it means living unfulfilled lives. Why? Because they're terrified of failing. But millionaires think differently. They don't run from risk. They calculate it, embrace it, and use it as a stepping stone toward success. The truth is, risk is the price of growth. You cannot create something extraordinary by playing small. Every great innovation, every thriving business, every breakthrough idea came because someone was willing to step into uncertainty. Millionaires understand this law of life. If you only do what feels safe, you will only achieve what everyone else achieves. And average is not where wealth lives. Failure, to most people, feels like the end. But to millionaires, failure is simply feedback. It's information. It's a lesson wrapped in disguise. They know that every failure gets them one step closer to the solution that works. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset. Millionaires don't cry over closed doors. They simply try another until one opens. Think about it. Every successful entrepreneur you admire has a long list of failures behind their name. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he created before returning to make it a global empire. Elon Musk risked his last dollars on SpaceX and Tesla when everyone told him he would fail. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Each of these people faced rejection, setbacks, and losses. But instead of stopping, they kept moving. That's why they reached heights most people never see. Here's the key. Millionaires don't see risk as danger. They see it as opportunity. They don't see failure as loss. They see it as training. Every risk they take teaches them something they could never learn by standing still. And every failure builds resilience, character, and wisdom. If you want to think like a millionaire, you must reprogram how you view failure. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" start asking, "What will I learn if I fail?" Instead of fearing risk, learn to manage it, calculate it, and take it with courage. The safe road may feel comfortable, but it rarely leads to greatness. So, remember this. Success is built on the foundation of risks taken and failures overcome. Millionaires are not fearless. They feel the fear, but they move anyway. And that courage is what sets them apart. Continuous learning. If there is one habit that every millionaire shares, it is the commitment to never stop learning. The average person often believes education ends with school or college. They get a diploma, find a job, and stop actively growing their knowledge. But millionaires understand something far deeper. Success is built on a foundation of continuous learning, curiosity, and self-development. Knowledge is the fuel of progress. The world is constantly changing, new technologies, new opportunities, new challenges. Those who refuse to keep learning quickly fall behind. But millionaires stay ahead of the curve because they are lifelong students. They read books, attend seminars, hire mentors, and invest in courses, not because they have to, but because they know growth is their greatest asset. Think about it. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, spends hours every single day reading and learning. Elon Musk didn't study rocket science formally. He read books, sought experts, and taught himself enough to build SpaceX. Millionaires don't wait for knowledge to come to them, they chase it. They are humble enough to admit they don't know everything, and wise enough to constantly sharpen their minds. Continuous learning also protects them from stagnation. While others get comfortable with what they know, millionaires stretch their minds. They ask questions, they explore new industries, and they challenge their own assumptions. This habit keeps them innovative, creative, and ready to adapt when change comes. In fact, many millionaires credit their success not to one big idea, but to the constant upgrading of their mindset and skills. The truth is, your mind is your greatest investment. Unlike money, which can be lost, stolen, or wasted, the knowledge you carry stays with you forever. It multiplies your ability to earn, to lead, and to create opportunities. Millionaires know this, and that's why they treat learning as a daily discipline, not a once-in-a-while activity. If you want to think like a millionaire, make learning a lifestyle. Read at least 30 minutes a day. Listen to podcasts that challenge your thinking. Surround yourself with people who know more than you and be willing to learn from them. Spend less time scrolling on social media and more time building skills that will shape your future. Remember this, the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start falling behind. Millionaires never let that happen. They remain curious, hungry, and open-minded. That is why they continue to rise, while others stay stuck where they are. Discipline and habits. Millionaires are not driven only by bursts of motivation. They are built on the foundation of discipline. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on your mood, your environment, or your circumstances. But discipline is permanent. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And this is exactly where millionaires separate themselves from the majority. Most people wait for inspiration before they act. They tell themselves, I'll start working when I feel ready, or I'll chase my goals when the time is right. But millionaires know that if you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. They rely on systems, routines, and habits that keep them consistent no matter what. Think about their daily rituals. Many millionaires wake up early, often before the rest of the world. They use that quiet time for reading, planning, exercise, or deep work. They don't hit snooze a dozen times. They respect their time like the treasure it is. They plan their day instead of letting the day control them. And they build habits that align with their long-term vision. Discipline also applies to how they manage money. While many people spend impulsively, millionaires practice financial discipline. They budget, invest, and prioritize building assets over showing off liabilities. They don't waste energy trying to look rich. They focus on staying consistent with the habits that make them rich. The power of discipline is that it compounds. Just like interest on an investment, small daily habits add up over time. Reading 10 pages a day may not seem like much, but over a year, it becomes hundreds of pages of knowledge. Saving a small amount every week may feel insignificant, but over years, it creates financial security. Waking up early every day may feel tough at first, but it builds a lifetime of productivity. Millionaires understand that success is not built in one giant leap. It is built brick by brick through disciplined habits. And here's the truth. Discipline is freedom. It gives you control over your life. Without discipline, you are a slave to your impulses, your emotions, and your environment. With discipline, you take command of your destiny. That's why millionaires can achieve goals that seem impossible to others, because they practice the habit of consistency. So, if you want to think like a millionaire, don't just focus on big dreams, focus on daily habits. Build routines that serve your vision. Train yourself to stay consistent even when it's inconvenient. Because at the end of the day, success is not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Abundance mindset. One of the most powerful traits of millionaires is their abundance mindset. While many people live with fear, scarcity, and competition, millionaires live with the belief that there is enough success, enough wealth, and enough opportunity for everyone. This shift in thinking changes everything, because the way you see the world determines the way you live in it. Most people think in scarcity. They believe money is limited, that opportunities are few, and that if someone else wins, it means they must lose. This mindset breeds jealousy, fear, and hesitation. It keeps people trapped in survival mode, constantly worried about what they might lose. But millionaires see the world differently. They believe opportunities are everywhere. They see setbacks not as losses, but as lessons that create room for something better. They don't fear the success of others. They celebrate it, knowing it proves what's possible. This abundance mindset also makes millionaires more generous. They are not afraid to give, to share, or to invest in others. They know that giving doesn't diminish their wealth, it multiplies it. Whether it's donating to causes, mentoring others, or collaborating with peers, they understand that helping others rise never takes away from their own success. In fact, it often expands it. Think about collaboration versus competition. A scarcity thinker says, if I share my idea, someone else will take it and I'll lose. An abundance thinker says, if I share my idea, we both might build something even greater together. That's why millionaires often build strong networks. They look for ways to partner, to learn, and to grow with others instead of trying to win alone. The abundance mindset also brings peace. When you stop fearing loss, you live with more confidence. When you stop believing opportunities are rare, you stop chasing shortcuts. Instead, you approach life with patience, gratitude, and openness. And this is attractive, not just to wealth, but to people, opportunities, and growth. Here's the truth. What you believe, you attract. If you believe the world is scarce, you will always feel lack. If you believe the world is abundant, you will always find opportunities. Millionaires know this, and that's why they train their minds daily to focus on possibility instead of limitation. So, if you want to develop the millionaire mindset, start practicing abundance. Replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of faith. Replace jealousy with inspiration. Replace competition with collaboration. The more you believe there is enough for everyone, the more you'll find that there is more than enough for you. Ladies and gentlemen, wealth is not built from money alone. It is built from mindset. The millionaire mindset is about clarity of vision, focusing on value, thinking long-term, embracing risks, committing to lifelong learning, practicing discipline, and living with abundance. These are not just ideas. They are principles you can apply every single day. The truth is, you don't need to be born into riches or wait for luck to strike. You already hold the power to change your life by changing the way you think. When you shift your mindset, your habits change. When your habits change, your results change. And when your results change, your entire life transforms. So, I challenge you today, don't just think like everyone else. Think different, live different. Choose clarity over confusion, value over greed, vision over shortcuts, and abundance over fear. Because the moment you adopt the millionaire mindset, you're no longer waiting for success to find you. You are creating it for yourself. And remember, wealth is not just about the money you make, but the life you design, the freedom you create, and the impact you leave behind. Thank you.